Hello everyone. Today I'm going to give you a beginner tutorial on the acoustic guitar. So today's video is going to be kind of short, going to be very simple, and I like to keep these in very bite-sized pieces because I know people's time is very limited these days and it's very valuable. So short and sweet is what we're going to go for. So if you're going to learn guitar, one of the first things you need to learn to do is name the parts of your guitar. It's very important, actually, especially if you have an issue with it and you need to take it to the guitar shop and be like, hey, such and such isn't working right. At least you can say what that is. The next thing you need to learn how to do is, if you are going to use a guitar pick to play, you have to learn how to hold this properly. And it is not like this. Like a lot of my beginner students want to hold their pick like this. This isn't right. So we'll talk about how you properly hold that pick. And then I will go over how to name your strings, how to number your strings, and how to number your frets. So starting at the top to the bottom. So this is called your headstock, this big piece right here. And these are called your tuning knobs. So these are your string pegs. It's where the strings wrap around, and these are your tuners. You don't want to play with these if you don't know what you're doing. So, because you'll get your guitar out of tune, and if you over tighten a string, it will pop. The lower ones will actually cut your fingers if they go across your fingers and they pop. I speak from experience. So this is the nut, this little plastic piece here. Sometimes they're made out of bone, sometimes they're plastic, but this is your nut. And this is what holds the strings in line for the string pegs. These little metal wires are called your frets. This is your sound hole. And this piece down here is your bridge and your saddle. So the bridge is this big part right here, and your saddle is the part where the strings actually sit. So this big piece here, this is your body. This is the body of the guitar. When you're strumming, it's best to go across the middle. So right in the middle there. And that's going to give you your best resonance and your I guess more true tone would be the best way to describe that. You can strum it down there, but you hear it's a little twangy, doesn't sound too good, and you can strum over the actual fretboard. It's going to sound pretty much the same. You're not going to get any difference in the way it sounds if you're strumming here or here, but you will get truer sound if you try to stay over your sound hole. So your strings are numbered from this thin string to this thicker one at the top. And both of these are E's. Okay, so they are 2 octaves apart. So if you're not sure what an octave is if you started on an E and you went to the next highest E on your instrument, that's an octave. So these 2 strings from here to here are 2 octaves apart, with your third E, the one that's going to be in the middle of those 2 octaves, being here on your 4th string, 2nd fret. So when you are counting your strings, you count from the bottom up. So the 1st string, 2nd string, 3rd string, 4th string, 5th string, and the 6th string here at the top. So when you count your frets, you're going to count fret 1, fret 2, fret 3, fret 4, fret 5, all the way up until you get to this one here. So for it to count as a fret, it has to have a fret wire on either side of it, because when you sound a note, you're actually pinching the string to the wire. So if there's no wire in front of it, like this one here, this is not a countable fret. We can't use this one, because when we fret that, all we get is a dead string. So there's nothing for it to vibrate against. All right, so if you're going to strum this thing and you're going to get some sound out of it, you got to make sure your pick doesn't go flying across the room. So the best way to do that is, you see your pick is fatter on one end and pointy on the other end. So you're going to hold your arm straight out and you're going to hook your pointer finger like so. And in this bend right here, you're going to take this and you're going to put it sideways and pinch it. So now your pick should be pointing to the left at a perfect 90-degree angle. So now when you bend your arm, it's pointed right at your strings. And this is a nice firm grip. It's not going anywhere. So you can get pretty crazy with your strumming, and you're not really going to worry about this pick going flying across the room or landing up in your sound hole of your guitar. It's just a better, firmer way of holding your pick. Now, how much you leave sticking out is going to be totally your preference. I have a speed pick that I use for my electric guitar a lot of times, and it's so tiny that really only a teeny little tip is sticking out. Sometimes you'll have more, sometimes you'll have less. It's just going to be what's comfortable for you. So this is your guitar and how you name it. To recap, you got headstock, tuning pegs, fret wires, frets, and the frets will have markers for them, by the way, on the top. Some guitars don't have them, but most of them do. They will have fret marks on the top. And you will also have some sort of inlay. So it might be a dot, it might be something fancy, but you'll have something that's going to mark your frets. You've got your sound hole, your bridge, your saddle. Oh, and these are your caps to hold your strings in. Not super important unless one pops out, which is rare. So join me for the next video where we'll go over some simple things that you can play, some very basic chords, and even a few melody notes that you can find on your guitar. So lots of fun videos coming up for you in the near future. If you like this video, make sure you hit the like button. And if you would like to see future videos for guitar, make sure you hit the subscribe button and the bell so that it will notify you when those post. I'll see you soon. Bye.